to the presidency. Yeah, so we heard reports this morning that Ajuri, who is one of the aides to the president, saying that the president will renew trial to relate to political drama happening in Rivers State. Now, according to our in-house bulletin, he says President Balatin's special advisor on media publicity, Ajuri, the president will not take sides in the ongoing political crisis in Rivers State. Mr. Ngelale said this in a television interview. He said all stakeholders in the state will need to focus on governance and not politics. And, reactions have been emerging as a result of this statement. But let's take a listen.
That if they are banking on Mr. President taking sides in this matter, they are mistaken and they will be disappointed. The President will not do that. What he will do is ensure that everybody has what they need in order to work. And he's also going to ensure that any attempt to defund or frustrate the operation of the Rivers State government from conducting its affairs in a way that will benefit the Rivers people, that's obviously not going to be allowed by this president or anybody else. The governor equally has a responsibility to ensure that he is liaising effectively with the State House of Assembly and not playing politics with them. Not saying that he is, but he certainly can't afford to. And it's going to be important for all stakeholders, including the Honorable Minister of the FCT, to be willing to also sheath their swords and say, look, we have an election in 2027 where this battle can bear itself out. But we have a number of years before then. Let's be responsible. Let's ensure that the people of Rivers State don't suffer because you have these elephants fighting each other in public. Governance comes first. Politics comes closer to the election.
Governance comes first. Politics comes closer to the election. Marcus, once again, welcome. What do you make of that statement by Ajuri Ngelale, believed to be speaking on behalf of the president there?
From the start, I was basically listening to his accent, which is very interesting to listen to. I've known him for quite some time now, from his days in AIT up until his appointment. Having said all of that,
channels you mean?
He made very salient points and very valid points, as it were. The truth of the matter is that this whole fight in Rivers State is just one huge political distraction. And I totally agree with him to the fact that everybody should stand down and focus on governance. Having said that, whether President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will remain neutral is a matter of time. But I think the reason why he's enjoying neutrality for now is because he doesn't trust the two people fighting. So we have Governor Ijioma-Socio-political, who used to be in the malaria PDP, now hobnobbing with the cancer APC. And then we have a Sim Fubara, His Excellency the Governor, who is supposed to be busy pinpointing areas where the federal government is not doing well and see how they can improve on the lives of Nigerians as an opposition governor, as a vice chairman of PDP Governors Forum. I don't know if he still holds that portfolio, which he was given a while ago, to provide the necessary opposition that is necessary for a robust democracy, not focusing on his job and trying to shift the structure of the honorable minister, as he always claims. So either way, the president's neutrality is a matter of trust. He doesn't trust the people, because as far as President Tinubu is concerned, as far as the land is concerned, politics is in 2027, but my brother, they are already calculating 2027. This is why it even came up in the statement in the first place. So the president is still watching the body language of both Governor Sim Fubara and that of Ijioma-Socio-political, and who is the better person to trust before he throws his weight behind either of them. So it's just a matter of time. We will know whether the president is neutral or not.
Let's focus on trust now, Marcus. You've just said that the presidency is waiting for 2027 to play politics, but in reality, politics has already started. Could it be that the president himself is playing the politics of seeing who is going to be the most powerful at the end of the battle to throw his weight behind that person, yet again in view of 2027?
That is you're correct, totally correct. But you see, in just like employment, you need to check people's CVs before you employ them, their antecedents. So if you were the president, would you go for Sim or would you go for Ijioma-Socio-political, who will say one today and do another one tomorrow? So I think if I were the president, I would rather support Sim. And my reason is very simple. Nigerian politics is heavily monetized. So you rather deal with the sitting governor who is sitting with state funds to sponsor your election in that state, because Wike, former governor, was very useful only because he was a sitting governor.
Are you really certain about that, Marcus? Because let's look at it. In recent times, a lot of appointments have gone, would I say, or can I say, if I'm permitted to, it has gone Wike's way. We're looking at Desmond Akawo. We're looking at the former commissioner for works. We're looking at, the NDDC, what's his name now, Boma Iyaye. We're looking at a lot of these appointments that have gone in the way of people who are in Wike's camp.
Let me cut former Governor Wike some credit.
Okay.
He is a good politician.
Okay.
But he's not a good tactician.
All right.
There are two different things. When you are playing politics, politics is about who gets what, when, and how. I'll take that again. Politics is who gets what, when, and how the person gets it. Tactics has to do largely with you being able to, play the mind game on first the people, and then those who you want to believe you, that you are more than that, more than what you actually want. So what am I trying to say? All of these appointments are what do I call them? Apart from the membership of the board of NDDC and all of that, the others are just job for the boys. They don't have any serious votes as far as the budget is concerned, because in Nigeria, as corrupt as the process may seem, it's about how much budget you are controlling. There are certain parastatals that they will give you to be DG, you, Kala now, that you are in Nigerian palace, nothing will come out. So when you are talking appointment that have been given to Wike's loyalists, yes, Wike is a good politician. He knows how to negotiate. That is why I said who gets what, when, and how. And he knows how to bargain. But he doesn't know the tactics, which is what Sim is using, getting the people to like you. Because in the end, it is people that will vote for you. It's people that will rig for you in the case of Nigeria.
Rigging is illegal. We don't praise rigging.
It is becoming, I'm not saying it's legal now. It is not legal, but it is now part of our process.
Okay.
It is illegal. As illegal as it may sound. When you are talking about law and legality, you have to start with morality before you go to legal. And right now, it's becoming like rigging is now immoral. People no longer frown at rigging. It's a question of who knows how to rig better and how much of financial influence you have. And I'm telling you that as far as 2027 is concerned, things stand a better chance when it comes to the big wallet. So when weekends people will be getting all the appointments, those people are always going to recover. They are wounded people.
Okay. Now, still on this, talking about you seem having a better chance, looking at 2027.
Getting the president's support. Yes.
Of course. It looks like also there are statements that say the caretaker committee of the APC was done in a way to yet again favor
APC or PDP.
APC and PDP, as a matter of fact. The recent appointments have been set to be in favor of the FCT minister. As a matter of fact, there is the argument currently in the PDP as to which is the authentic list of caretaker committee in the ward, local government and state level. Now, do you really think, because it looks like the political structure right now, visibly, I'm not saying it what it is, but it looks like Wike might just be winning or leading or something like that?
I agree with you to a large extent. I agree with you totally. It looks like Wike is winning as we speak, and that is because we don't know what team is planning.
Okay.
If you have ever watched a match, you know that it's not about scoring the first goal. There is still a half time, there is still the full time, and sometimes extra time, and then sometimes penalties. So politics is a game. Yes, at this early stage, former Governor Wike looks like he's winning everywhere, and that is largely due to the fact that, what we call empowerment. There are certain people that he has empowered who are willing to do his bidding. But just like it happened to former Governor Rotimi Anwechi I'm sure you remember his former chief of Wike himself was former chief of staff to Rotimi Amaechi before Chief Okocha. And all of those men are no longer with Amaechi today, less than 12 years down the line. Some of them Governor Wike even fell apart with him before his tenure finished. So what you are seeing now may be small screen. It will not last.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at it from this area of who is in control of resources. By resources, I mean money, dollars, naira, and pounds. Governor Wike will keep spending what he has, trying to bankroll the current structure he's bragging about. Same has the state resources. So the Rivers people will lose at the end of the day.
All right, we'll go for a quick commercial.
Introducing NEM Health HMO. Do you want to experience seamless access to care? Then think NEM Health.
To Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubatu, and with me on the show is Marcus Ijioma-Socio-political commentator. Welcome back, Marcus. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me once again.
All right. So before we went for that commercial break, you were trying to, explain, your thoughts to me about, I mentioned the fact that it looks like the structure of the APC in Rivers State and the structure of the PDP in Rivers State may now, emphasis on may just be in the hands of Nyesom Wike. So what's your take on that? Can you hear me?
Hello, I lost you at some point.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess it was noisy in your in the background at your end. So I was saying before the commercial break, you and I were talking, and we talked about the APC structure in Rivers State and the PDP structure in Rivers State being argued by certain individuals to be in the hands and control of Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. So what's your take on that?
On that issue, permit me to digress a little.
All right.
I think for PDP, for instance, the party is a very bad opposition party. Sorry to say that.
Why'd you say so?
Because right from the time that former Governor Nyesom Wike said publicly at the PDP convention in Abuja that if he loses, he was going to support whoever, emphasis on the word whoever wins the primaries. At that point, he wasn't saying that if the candidate that wins is a southerner, I will support, but if it's a northerner, I will not. He said he will support whoever wins. And that convention passed, and Governor Wike did not support whoever wins. And PDP as a party failed to discipline him. And up till now, we can't tell whether former Governor Nyesom Wike is in PDP or is in APC. What happened to anti-party activities that can earn you expulsion from a party? So we are not talking about structure in APC and structure in PDP being controlled by one person, which is not entirely true. Because Governor Sim, the last time I remembered, also have supporters who are card-carrying members of PDP. So whether the executive are loyal to Governor Nyesom Wike or loyal to, if APC members are loyal to Governor Nyesom Wike, nobody cares about that. I think we should focus on the PDP technical committee. And at the moment, it appears like there are more Governor Nyesom Wike loyalists than that of Sim Fubara. But you see this loyalty thing, it is money. It can be priced, it can be bought. We were here when APC spokesperson who opposed PDP for nearly 16 years at the tail end of Wike's government joined PDP.
Are you saying are you saying it was bought? I mean, that's a very heavy allegation.
It was a transfer window. If you don't want me to use the word bought, but you know what happens during transfer windows. So it's a transfer window. Any moment from now, players will start changing teams. So those loyalty things, they are temporal issues, structural things, that every structure can be bought. Just put the right price. And I'm telling you for free that Governor Sim Fubara, as far as that is concerned, has a bigger pocket, but he doesn't want to spend yet so that he doesn't exhaust himself.
All right.
He just came in. He needs to get the wallet sold first before he starts spending.
Okay.
So the former Governor Nyesom Wike is spending from the one he has made.
But Marcus, is this not really an aberration of what governance should be? Because you've just been talking about...
It is an aberration, unfortunately so. I like to say things the way they are. Canada, you are a very polished gentleman, a trained journalist. I am also a trained journalist, but I'm in the field now, doing politics and media work. You are more restricted by a lot of rules, so there are certain things you probably know and you can't say. But I'm telling you for a fact that it's an aberration that has become our reality. Unfortunately so. Sadly so. It is taking my heart, but I have to say it the way it is.
Okay. One of our recent conversations, in one of them, you mentioned about the peace accord signed by signed by the governor and the FCT ministers camp. Over what's the word now?
It was a fragile peace. It was a tested peace. I remember my first.
Okay, very good. You remember your statement then. I mean, what do you make of your prediction not being manifested right now? And what further forecast or what other forecast do you have? As the political drama continues to play out.
If you said my predictions, fine. But the point is that if you are a political watcher, I watch politics a lot. I study politics. I was born into politics. I come from a very politically influential family. So I think I can almost tell you, I'm not a political scientist by training, but I can almost tell you how human beings behave around politics, especially when money is involved. Nigerian politics is heavily monetized. Heavily, sir. That anybody can be bought. And you're going to see it happen. That is my next prediction. Those loyal to Governor Sim Fubara will soon start buying players from the other team. Rivers will still return back to one-party state. Just watch it. Because former Governor Ijioma-Socio-political can't sustain the structure. Right now, he will not be able to sustain it for 2 years.
What if he can? What if he can? I mean, what if he can?
The only way he can is based on resources. The resources is not going down. It's not coming again. You know what? It's like you're not getting my drift, sir. I am saying that this whole structure thing is about how much. I'm saying that the day former Governor Wike left office, they started going broke.
So now, let's say I agree to what you have said. Now,
you don't have to agree.
No, let's say it's. I want to paint a picture. Okay. Let's say what you have said is the truth, and that money is what you can use to buy political structures in Nigeria. Nyesom Wike is the FCT minister, so he also gets revenue. If you're saying there is a post that they get the public post that they get the money from, there is a. Yeah, I'm listening.
What is the FCT budget for the 2023-2024? Can you help me look it up?
I would have to do research.
You can do that comparison at your leisure. We might not disclose it now, but check your record and tell me the FCT budget for 2024 and the budget for River State for 2024, and tell me who is controlling more resources. So that is the point. That's the way you look at it.
But I might agree with you on budget, but when it comes to internally generated revenue, Abuja is, competing.
Abuja cannot compete.
No, I'm giving you stats now. I'm giving you facts now. Abuja is top 3, top 4. It depends on how it goes in certain months.
I'm sure you know that the Minister of FCT has the National Assembly to contend with as far as budgeting and execution is concerned.
Okay.
And I'm sure you also know that the current Minister of FCT is having some issues with senators, the senator representing FCT.
Okay.
The lady in Labour.
Yeah.
Over certain projects, there have been accusations and counter-accusations. Okay. So former Governor Wike will not have it as easy as he had it in River State as the FCT. So it's not going to be that easy. In River State, he was in total control, more or less, of a general. So there are two different scenarios. Nigerian governors are so powerful, not just him alone. Every Nigerian governor is a very powerful governor. Can FCT minister go and borrow money now on behalf of FCT?
Well,
he cannot do that.
Let's paint a picture for you. Ambode was governor. Tinubu was not in power for many years, as a matter of fact. But the narrative that we have on the street is that Ambode was removed by the political powers that be.
Now let me say, now look, Tinubu is one of a kind.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, yes. As a matter of fact, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to be studied by political scientists. He needs to be a course of study in Nigerian political university and political space. And you know why? He made people. He planted people. Can you point one governor that Governor Wike successfully planted anywhere in Nigeria who is still making, as it were, returns? Illegally so. But in the entire Southwest, we can tell how many governors whose Tinubu's influence have to ascend to office. And rumors, mark my word, rumors have it that he enjoys political patronage at the time from those governors. Virtually every governor in the West was installed by him. How many governors did former Governor Ijioma-Socio-political install in the South to warrant that kind of heavy pocket?
Okay, let's go back.
You can't compare the two.
Let's leave all the political permutations and go back to our conversation. And now that things are playing like this, and the president is saying, or the presidency is saying, the president will be neutral. what then happens to the peace accord? Because the peace accord, asked them to do certain things. And if you listen to Ajuri Ngelale very carefully, he also, was like the governor has a role to play in ensuring that, maybe I should play it again so we can listen.
The governor equally has a responsibility to ensure that he is liaising effectively with the State House of Assembly and not playing politics with them. Not saying that he is, but he certainly can't afford to. And it's going to be important for all stakeholders, including the Honorable Minister of the FCT, to be willing to also sheath their swords and say, look, we have an election in 2027 where this battle can bear itself out. But we have a number of years before then. Let's be responsible. Let's ensure that the people of River State don't suffer because you have these elephants fighting each other in public. Governance comes first.
Marcus, over to you.
Come again?
Did you not hear the sound? But I was trying. I said over to you now. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, so like I said, I've told you before now that the peace was fragile, and you obviously confirmed that it was indeed fragile because troubles are still coming up. And then talking about state governor focusing on House of Assembly to get good governance to the people of River State, permit me to say that the fight will still last a little longer. Our jury is not Jesus Christ, who will say peace be still, and the whole storm will come. So peace accord or no peace accord, remember I told you that the peace accord was a very fragile one, and you have confirmed that indeed it was fragile. So the fight is still going to last a while. There is a peace on the other side of war.
Right.
That peace is more long-lasting. So I will advise that, yes, Rivers people will suffer. Yes, there will be stunted development because of the distractions. But in the end, believe me, Canada, Fubara will be a better.
Marcus, I don't have much time, but someone just dropped a message. And I think the person has done his research. I would have to confirm it later, by the way. FCT.
The person said what?
The person said the FCT budget for 2024 is 1.1 trillion, while Rivers State is 800 billion, as seen. So I don't know, and it's from Ijioma.
1.1 trillion and 800 what?
800 billion. Rivers State 800 billion. So FCT, according to the person, is higher than Rivers State. So would you change your political permutations based on this information that is coming?
See, I agree. If that is correct, right? If that is what it is right now, well, the person is correct. But let me tell you, the FCT minister does not have the leverage the governor. I was trying to add an angle to it before you interrupted, which is the fact that how much can the FCT minister borrow on behalf of FCT versus how much can the governor borrow when it comes to funding or budget. And you know one thing with budgeting in Nigeria, while the governor can borrow and fund his budget, FCT minister will have a lot of hurdles to cross to be able to achieve that. So he would rather stick, and the budget, believe me, all federal budgets are not funded 100%. So that's when you talk about budget performance. So either way you look at it, SIM has a better chance in terms of deep pocket to fund these structures. Probably he doesn't want to spend yet. Allow the FCT minister to exhaust himself before he comes up with his own game plan.
All right, then.
That's what I think is happening. His silence is suspicious.
So you're saying in summary that the president may say is neutral, but most likely is going to tilt the pendulum or swing the pendulum towards the governor of River State.
Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
We had a minister of transport in the last administration, right?
Yeah.
Who eventually worked for APC in the last election for the presidency.
Yeah.
Was he not the governor? So that is the same kind of scenario that will play out.
All right, then. I've really got to go. My time is up, but thank you very much, Marcus, for being part of this conversation. We will continue the open season.
Thank you very much. I will advise that we all sit back, buy something, and just watch the fight. It's going to last for a bit longer. It may last into 2027.
All right,
so let's not be in a hurry for the peace.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much, Marcus Ijioma-Socio-political commentator. But we've got a commercial coming up. After the commercial, the major news at 6. But when we do come back, the open season, we will touch on all of these matters, all of these conversations that we have talked about today. So do stay tuned, please.
Yes, wherever you're listening from, tune the volume up because we're about to give you very important information that might change your life forever. ever. At this point in time, Apostle Home Ownership is with us, and I'm talking about no other person than Mr. Ori Martin. Yes, he always brings goodie bag, especially when he wears the garment of Apostle Home Ownership, and we're so glad to have him here today. So let's get straight into it.